Howdy, and welcome to the Bering Sea, Aleutian Islands and such. 3 days ago, 4.8, 57 kilometers in depth, there has been several deeper quakes in this region. We have the Great Sitkin volcano. We have many other volcanoes. 6 days ago, quakes. These are all elderly quakes. And Takavanga stratovolcano, volcanic unrest. Yesterday I stumbled across this article, Anchorage Daily News, Science. 5 Aleutian volcanoes are now showing signs of unrest. Now it's already 12 hours ago. Yesterday was very fresh. Takavanga volcano in Alaska's Aleutian Islands. And before we start, I want to throw in quickly the topic mountain water, wide rivers, with the evergreen example of Mount St. Helens, which is a volcano which has wide rivers, which has the world's fastest growing glacier in its caldera. So we probably, maybe, have to assume that all the glacier carrying mountains are volcanoes. And it doesn't even need to be a glacier, because it can be also molten water just pouring out of a spring of a mountain, cryptodomes and such. But now back to the article. 4 Aleutian volcanoes have been under elevated alert levels for about a year, and now they're joined by a 5th. The new one is the ice-filled caldera of Takavanga, which rises 4,753 feet out of the Bering Sea in the far western Aleutians. Researchers put the volcano on the watch list when a swarm of earthquakes with magnitudes between 2 and 3 began increasing around Takavanga. When an earthquake is caused by tectonic plate shifts, it typically results in a major earthquake that is followed by smaller and smaller aftershocks that taper out. But in a swarm, there can be a significant increase in the rate and often the magnitude of earthquakes. Craters atop Takavanga's summit, looking west, the volcano Takavanga is 4,750 feet high and is located in the northern Tanaka Islands. Check out these features. We have seen, maybe, these kind of similar features also within the Alps. John Lyons, a research geophysicist at Alaska Volcano Observatory, said swarms often point to volcanic activity. That typically indicates that there's been magma or volcanic fluid there, Lyons said. A swarm of earthquakes can often precede activity on the surface, including an eruption. The swarm began on November 18th, prompting the Alaska Volcano Observatory to move the volcano's aviation color code to yellow. All 5 of the volcanoes are concentrated along the Aleutian chain. Most of them have been fluttering in and out of yellow and orange advisory levels, which range from elevating unrest to minimal eruptions. While 5 volcanoes rumbling at the same time might sound like a lot, Lyons said it's not uncommon from the state. Because there are so many active volcanoes in Alaska, having 5 that have an elevated color code isn't really extraordinary. Takavanga volcano. Takavanga is about 55 miles west of Adak and would threaten the city of around 200 people should it erupt. But Lyons said the current advisory level is no cause for concern. The potential hazard to people in Adak is very low right now. And because the volcano is so well monitored, And because Alaska Volcano Observatory is keeping an eye on it, there will be signs and we will catch those signs and put out timely notices if there's any change in activity. As of Monday, yesterday, the swarm was still continuing at Takawanga and the color code remained at yellow. Yes, Bering Sea, Northern Hemisphere. It doesn't need two big eruptions, let's say it in plural, because there are like many volcanoes in, how to put it, eruption mode in the Northern Hemisphere. For example, let's zoom out. Now we are watching at 7 days quakes. So these are many quakes. There has been something going on here, here, and also up here, and here. Not only at Katla, there's action going on. Not only is that Grimsvötn, maybe not. No, it's Öreafjökull, of course. Action. Check it out. 7-day quakes. Grimsvötn activity. Here we have activity beside a volcano, which name is Logijökull Volcano. Und einem Gletscher liegender Vulkan. It's under a glacier, this volcano. We have also here Lake Askia. There's like earthquakes going on. We have also here a rather big swarm on the north and southern side of Herbubreid, Vulcano Dormant. And still up here in Zandvik, between two volcanoes, Djörn's fracture zone and the Kolbenissei Ridge. So Iceland is very active. The Azores, still rattling. Two volcanoes in alert, yellow mode. La Palma or Canary Islands, there is action going on all the time as well. Strait of Gibraltar, still going on. This is going on for many weeks, no one talks about that. We have also Campi Flegrei. I think they happened yesterday or something. 7, 8, no, they happened today. 2.0, 2.3, 1.8, and 2.6. Very close to Campi Flegrei, Phlegrean Fields, which is in volcanic rest mode. And we have the other volcano. Is it Vesuvio here somewhere? Vesuvius. 2 days ago. 5 days ago. These aren't too fresh, but there is action going on. Northern Italy up in the sea, out in the sea. Here, around Norcia, here is another spot. Another swarm spot. And of course, this one here still going on since what, 3rd week, 4th week? Nine hours ago, 2 days, yesterday. Yesterday, 2 days. So these are not too fresh, but I think the patterns that we can see through the fields are very interesting. And there is also something going on amongst the river Rhine, but we won't dive into that. Is this Ilgraben? Ilhorn, Bhutan, yes it is. I made a video, I think it's the most watched video I've ever made. 2.5, 11 user reports. Do we get any? No, it starts to. Yeah, check it out, there's a water rain beside that. Somewhat 120 meters from that. We have the quake. Yeah, I really wonder about this feature here. What's that? Is that a crack in a mountain? Is that a water vein which isn't marked? There's a waterfall. Yeah, but this could take hours and hours. But we have one of these patches I have been talking about. I think these are places where there's water pouring out of the ground, and through its chemical composition, air pressure changes and other things, it might stay frozen more longer than other places where we just have accumulated snow. Because that's connected to the things below. This might be a similar thing. This might be also on the northern side of some ridge, more in the shadow. But this little patch doesn't seem to be very much in the shadow. So where was the quake again? Here. And these marks, they are very interesting. They might be either made by cows which are living there in the summertime, and they use the same paths in order to get back and forth on the hill. They could be also indicators that the ground is moving. Maybe very slowly, but it is moving. It depends on the amount of water in the ground. If there is more water pouring out of the ground, it might get unstable and starts to slide. It doesn't really maybe even need water in form of rain or melting water in order to get the ground wet, because it just can pour out of the ground, since we know there's much more water stored in Earth's crust than previously thought. Trubbelstock. Yeah, this looks like a very interesting feature. What are we looking at here? Because obviously you can see the shadows. That's the ridge and that's the shadow of that, so it goes down. And that's the ridge and that's the shadow, so it goes down from here too. So that whole thing is elevated within that hole in the ground. How so? Yeah, but it would take a lot of time to go over to Google Earth and check it out. But I just wanted to make a video about the glaciers in Alaska, which are covered in ice and snow. Quite much like the Alps. And now I just found something interesting. There's a molten part of this glacier. Blanc Glacier. This might be another spring or source from the glacier, since it has these circular patterns. Maybe I should take a screenshot and increase it. Maybe we can see something. Maybe it's now better visible. There are these kind of really circular patterns going around that place, which is in itself already very circular. So this might work like a continental glacier, which, unlike alpine glaciers or mountainous glaciers, don't get pulled by gravity downwards because they are just expanding into all directions simultaneously. Which makes us question one single question. If there is no gravity pulling, how can it expand all the way if there's no just, snow accumulating random places on top of it and it just expands into all directions simultaneously? Because I think there might be a source from underneath which is feeding the glacier in the Alps, in Alaska, or wherever we have glaciers. Because they are probably all about the same. There might be actual volcanoes, the mountain which is carrying the glacier, and the glacier itself is just a contemporary lava stream made of water, which will experience its own fluctuations in the amount of water, in the temperature of water, in the mixture of water, because they can be very well also sediments coming out there, clayish material or whatever stuff. Blanc. And here we also have this one on the same glacier. Why does this? This could also mean that there's like sediments coming out and water and all kinds of things. That's, I think, in Switzerland. This could be also in Iceland or Alaska or anywhere else. Geothermal activity has to take also cold water conditions into account in order to create a holistic picture. And to me, it seems that there's like water flowing out, which means the water has to come from somewhere. Maybe it comes from here down somewhere. But that's just what I think about these things. Make up your own mind. There's another one with circumpolar features, and cracks, and all kinds of things. So how can a glacier have these kind of features? If it is assumed that they are just created by accumulated snow. Doesn't really make sense to me. But I think I leave it here. Blam more glacier. And this. Very interesting. Thank you. Bye.